Stacey. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Stacey Wallin. I am currently the Director of Venture Programming at the BC Tech Association. I've had a few kind of lifetimes or careers. My first one was in investment banking before I actually had a stint as a CEO of a technology startup, before doing a little bit of consulting work and then landing where I am now.
Fantastic. And what does investing in early stage and growing companies mean to you?
Ooh, that's a good one. I mean, for me, companies are hope, and I see them as problem solvers, and they're really going to create tomorrow. So I see investing in kind of early stage companies as just, kind of contributing to tomorrow and helping to make things possible that you want to have possible. So it's kind of part of making the world that you want to live in. So that's the way I look at investing is, do you want this company to succeed, and does it help you kind of create a world you want to live in? And then what can you do to contribute to making that a reality? So
right, fantastic, fantastic. And when you think about there's the investment of time and expertise and support, which is so critical, and obviously certainly in your role, but also a financial investment into the company. And I know that you've been also a big supporter and champion of some local companies. And tell me a little bit more about why did you decide to invest some of your own personal funds in some companies?
It's always a little risky or a little nerve-wracking, especially at first. Actually, my very first investment, funny enough, I didn't actually really think of it as an investment. I had a friend of mine, it was when I was younger, I was in university, and just had something that they really, really wanted to work on, and they needed a little bit of help. It was nominal money, but a lot to me at the time. and I kind of was just like, yeah, sure, let's, I'll give this to you now, and then you can go do what you need to do, and then once you've done this thing that I trust you to go do, then you can get me back this with, and we had like a very nominal, I think I actually got taken out for dinner as my interest. But the concept was that I was giving up my assets so that somebody else could make something that they wanted to do a reality, and I had to trust them and trust that they were going to execute their plan and that I was going to get what I wanted out of it. So in that lens, it was kind of my first investment, but I think pretty young it got me excited about the fact you can to mitigate them. And on another level, we have a very hard time, everybody, empathizing about people different from ourselves. And so just like it's important to have female entrepreneurs who build products for women in the way that women want them and need them, it's important to have female investors who understand female entrepreneurs' journeys, who understand the female market, who understand female-driven products, or the sales journey to work with women. There are fundamental differences in these different marketplaces, and if you don't have people involved in all the steps of the decision making and all the steps of the design and all the steps of getting it into the hands of the customers, then you're bound to make missteps, and you're bound to not serve the people you're trying to serve the way you wanted. So I just think that diverse teams, diverse investors, diverse leadership, diverse accountability boards, it's important, and not just for the sake of doing what's right and giving people equal opportunity, but also just because it builds a stronger, more resilient, more effective ecosystem.
Yeah, absolutely. And you just invested in FrontFundr, which is amazing. So thank you. We're thrilled to have you as part of our growing investor community. So why did you do that? Why was it important for you to do that?
It's not systemically different than what I just talked about. I think FrontFundr is sort of the next iteration or the next step in how we deliver access to capital. Everything's gone digital. Technology is no longer a vertical, it's everything. And so we're doing our banking over our phones, we're doing our real estate over our phones, and why can't we find and invest in opportunities over a similar platform? And it's going to happen at some point. I think FrontFundr is absolutely just at the leading edge of that. And it's important too, though, that things be done with the proper infrastructure and the proper regulation and the proper credibility, so that people are protected. And that's the reason that those regulations were created in the first place, is to protect investors and to protect companies and to protect everybody. And so I think it's fantastic that we can have the ease and the convenience of a digital platform, the plethora of opportunities handed to you on a menu, which is kind of an investor dream, but also just the ability to know that you're still checking all the right boxes and that you still have all the right protections in place and the same guards. So I just think it's a really great combination of those things.
Awesome. And how was the process itself as you actually went through and made your investment online?
Oh my gosh. It was actually, it kind of freaked me out a little bit, because I used to work, like I said, in investment banking, and my job actually for a number of years was to process private placement transactions, meaning that I filled out those paper, that paperwork, but in paper format, including putting little red dots on them and faxing them places and getting pen signatures. And immediately once I finished the process, which took a couple minutes and was very intuitive and, you know, just what you'd expect from an app, drop down, click, yes, no, I was like, wow, this is going to put, you know, like, this whole process is going to be entirely different, guaranteed in a few years, because this was so much easier than what I'm used to and what all of our old clients would have been used to, that there's no way, once they know that this is possible, that they'll go back.
Amazing.
There's no way.
Amazing. And plus the access to the information for you to make an educated decision around your investment.
And just that it's easily referenceable. Like, I'm a little bit of a geek with technology, but I've already logged back into my FrontFundr platform a few times just to be like, let's check out my investments and let's see what's going on there. So I like the idea of having everything referenceable in an easy place, as opposed to having to go through a third party like a broker if you don't need to.
Yeah, exactly. Fantastic. Well, we're thrilled to have you involved in the FrontFundr community and look forward to more. And thank you so much for sharing your time and insights.
Anytime. Thank you. I'm excited to be a part of it.